talked about sort of biting this elephant one bite at a time. You want to give an example of maybe one of those bites that you want to highlight?
Absolutely. So, early in this process for us, we were looking at, what are some of the big, what are some of the things we can do now to make progress, right? What are some of the big challenges that we believe Zero Trust can help us with? And, one of the basic principles of Zero Trust, right, is microsegmentation and ensuring that you're putting the appropriate security controls as close as you can to your critical assets, right? So, looking at our model, we realized, what is the soft underbelly of our network? It was, for us, it's end user devices, right? Our end user devices sit inside our networks today, right next to our high value assets. And that's been, again, the soft underbelly that people have compromised to gain a foothold on one internal device, and they've been able to move laterally and move to other assets. So we initially said, how can we work to implement a solution to resolve that quickly? So early in our process, we came up with a strategy around SASE, and I'll mention Intra ID, which is part of that, so that we could effectively remove these devices from our internal networks. And this, going back to what Wes was talking about concerning budgetary planning, we made some good decisions a couple of years ago. We made some decisions around our portfolio management to plan funding for these things, plan funding for SASE. We invested in SASE. We have been piloting SASE. And we also got a little lucky, I will say, in the sense that there was a critical vulnerability that came out recently that impacted our VPN solution that forced us to expedite our SASE. I think Sean's very familiar with this. I'm happy to say this is one of our biggest successes to date. You talked about the size and complexity of our organization. We completed a full SASE deployment to over 80,000 employees just last month, and we've replaced our VPN solution. All of our employees now are using a SASE solution to access resources. It's certainly not the end of our SASE journey. For us, it's phase one. We're primarily, it's primarily right now for remote teleworkers. We're now working on building solutions for our 2,400 branch offices. So instead of having to use dedicated circuits to connect back into an internal network, they'll now be able to leverage our SASE solution to access any resource they need from the department. So I think, the success story with this, in my view, is the fact that, hey, we actually developed a strategy. We developed a funding strategy. We developed planning for this, and it enabled us to do this in a short period of time when we had a critical need to do it. So that's one of the many things that I think is important about what we've done at Interior, which is going back to what you were saying earlier, identifying a single entity to manage this program, a single person that can oversee it and manage it. I was in a meeting a couple weeks ago. It was a roundtable, I think 6 or 7 other federal agencies, and I was the only person in the room. The Department of Interior was the only agency in that room that had that single person. They were still kind of juggling it around to say, hey, this is, we need to figure out where this goes under. And I'm not, in this instance, I won't say we were smart about it. We kind of got lucky. We made some decisions early where we said, you know what, we did it a little different than most agencies. We didn't put the function under our CISO because we saw it bigger than just security. Zero Trust us, it's bigger than security. It touches everything we do. So we said, we're going to put the role directly under the CIO. It grew organically over time, and I think it's been effective for us, and it's enabled.
It really paid off for you all.